Welcome to the B-side for July 2017. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the records I got in this month and talking about the records that I heard this month. Check it out. So, funny story. A lot of the albums that I talked about in the A-side didn't come out yet as I'm filming this video. They all seem to come out tomorrow. So, I have not listened to them because I did not listen to the leak because I'm a good person. But I have a couple albums that did come out earlier this month that I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed might be a bit of a stretch. There were some that were a little middling and some that were excellent. Let's start with the middling. Haim's new album, Something to Tell You, is good. It's a solid album. I mean, those girls are great songwriters and they have a very good sound to their music, but compared to their first debut album, it just doesn't live up. Unfortunately, it kind of got boring throughout the album because it felt like one long song. I actually found myself drifting out of focus while listening to it because it just felt the same. Now, they have a good sound, but they had a lot more hits on the first album because they varied their song structure. Not so much on this one. Now, Lana Del Rey's Lust for Life, that was a really solid album. I'm a little hit or miss on her albums, to be honest, and this was probably tied with Ultraviolence for my favorite thing she's done. I thought Honeymoon was okay, her first two were fine, but this one has a really solid vision to it, and while it also suffers from the same problem Haim did, which was sounding a little similar throughout the album, I really like her voice enough that I'm willing to look past it. I recommend this album as a great entryway into her material, or if you're a lifelong fan, I'm sure you're gonna love it. Something that surprised me this month, well, I guess it's not that much of a surprise, but Cornelius, Japanese artist that hasn't released an album in over a decade, put out Mellow Waves. I love his earlier material. In my last video, I said he's kind of like the Japanese Beck. That's kind of a weird comparison, but he's definitely an experimental indie pop, indie rock artist. After taking such a long time off, I wasn't sure if he was able to produce something as high quality as Phantasma or something from his earlier career. I was blown away. Mellow Waves is one of the best albums I've heard this entire year. Now, he sings mostly in Japanese, and much like Brazilian music, I don't necessarily need to understand the lyrics to really appreciate a song, and all of these songs are absolutely perfectly crafted indie pop masterpieces. This is almost like Kishibashi meets Beck with his Japanese twist to it. Every single song was like a 10 out of 10. This is honestly in contention for the best album of the year. If you haven't heard of Cornelius, you should definitely start here and work your way backwards. His whole catalog is stellar, but this is specifically a standout, so props to you. The final album I heard, I actually didn't talk about in the A-side because I wasn't sure if I was going to listen to it. Tyler, the Creator, released Flower Boy. I loved Tyler when he first came out. Bastard, Goblin, super good hip-hop albums. Wolf, he lost me. Cherry Bomb, also a miss. So I thought his career was just going like this. I was wrong. Flower Boy is terrific. It's a triumph. It's catchy. He's not rapping with immature lyrics. I mean, he's profane because he's Tyler, the Creator, but this is a mature album that shows an artist that actually has decided what they want to do with their career. He's done putting out these bombastic, angry, misguided, misdirected albums. This is almost a concept album. What's cool is that he's doing a vinyl release for this, which he hasn't done for Cherry Bomb, and it is on yellow vinyl, which matches the cover really well because there's bees all over the cover. And unfortunately, as you're seeing this video, the record's gonna be sold out. It was a one-day sale on his site, and then it was closed. And maybe there's gonna be a not colored version down the road, but much like Damn from Kendrick, there was a short window of time to order it, and then it was done, which is an interesting thing a lot of labels are doing lately, maybe to capture the collector mentality. It's a pretty smart idea if you want to generate a lot of sales in a short period of time. But I bought one, hopefully you did too, and if you didn't, I guess go to eBay and Discogs. Not too much music news going on, to be completely honest, but there is one thing that happened that I have to address. Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, has passed away. The band has a lot of mixed opinions, a lot of people think that they stopped making good music down the road, whatever it may be. The point is that if you're a music fan, it's hard to argue that their first two albums weren't seminal for the genre, and for me growing up, Hybrid Theory and Meteora were guiding beacons for me. I remember Hybrid Theory was my first CD I ever bought. It's truly a tragedy in the music world. This is happening more and more these days, so I know this has been said a lot, especially recently, but if you're ever feeling down or unwanted, there's always somebody to talk to. If it's not a friend or a family member, there are hotlines. Just know that you are wanted and you are loved. And I got a lot of records in this month, so I'm going to show them to you right now. As I said, I was receiving my fourth copy of my second favorite album of all time, of Montreal's Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? Now, I have the black vinyl, I have the blue vinyl, I have the picture disc, and now I have the anniversary edition on, I believe it's red and yellow Starburst. Take a look. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. That's cool. This color choice for the album is great because this album is like a sun exploding. It is bright and powerful and very in your face. It's a big old triple gatefold, which which is really cool. And the reason I bought this reissue, well, I bought it because I love this album. I would buy it no matter how many times they reissue it, I would buy it. But there is a lyric booklet that it comes with that did not come in the previous editions. Ta-da! This is awesome because the lyrics on this album are super good. And yeah, so it has some classic artwork, much like the Montreal style. I believe this is all done by his brother, David Barnes. Yeah, so I'm gonna look forward to listening to this album and reading the lyrics and looking at the art. Venice by Anderson .Paak. I just saw him at FYF this weekend, and his set was unbelievable. This dude is absolutely worth seeing live. He drums, he sings, he raps, and he just has such a good stage presence. It looks like he's having fun when he's on stage. I love this album. This is his second most recent. The most recent's Malibu, which is another incredible album. But I didn't own this, and Newberry did a super sweet variant. Look at that. Cream, kind of orange creamsicle looking thing inside of clear. This is really nice. And I'm super excited to spin this because this album front to back is just so good. If you've been a longtime fan of this channel, you would know that I love the label In the Clouds. I love them because the music they put out is excellent, but they also put so much care into the packaging of the record, doing all sorts of really unique things, my favorite of which being on the Owl self-titled album. They have a keyboard inside of the gatefold, and you can press the keys and it makes sound. Super cool. Well, kind of along those lines is their new release. This is a little sneak peek because it's not quite out yet, and actually we have a special message from the band themselves.
The gay blades are back, baby. Oh yeah. Not so much in a literal sense, but in a sense that we can sell you something new.
Come sail away with us.
Yes, come sail away. We've partnered with the one and only In the Clouds, New Jersey's preeminent boutique vinyl label, to bring you Savages on vinyl. Oh my God! Beautiful 140 gram multicolored vinyl. It's complete with an amazing sleeve with lots of really fun hidden gems. You gotta see it, you gotta buy it to get it, to feel it, to know it. We only ever did a digital version and a CD compact disc. Oh, brother. So get it while the getting's good, as they say. Savages!
Thanks for that, guys. This is the first time it's actually getting a vinyl issue, and it deserves one. They're a really terrific rock band. If I had to compare them to a sound, sometimes it has elements of Arctic Monkeys, and sometimes it has The Deer Hunter. I think that it's really theatrical at times, but it also has a garage rock feel to it. This is just a really great listen front to back. So yeah, as usual, this is not a skimp job by excellent label In the Clouds. They actually have a sound chip inside of the gatefold, and they have an interesting cast of characters inside, and each one of them, or most of them, have a little button where they play a sound clip, which I'll play for you right now. This is super cool. It's a nice little, it kind of gives the feel of the album too. It just is that kind of aesthetic that the sound gives off. Great gatefold. Thick, and it comes on colored vinyl because they pull out all the stops in the Clouds. Glorious cream colored vinyl. So yeah, this will be up for pre-order really soon. Definitely recommend jumping on it because In the Cloud stuff tends to go for a lot of money in the aftermarket if you miss it while it's in stock. So go for it, listen to the album. Good work, Gay Blades, this album rocks. While we're on the subject of sneak peeks, I have a really cool sneak peek for you right now. A record that is currently on pre-order. I got the early scoop from my good friends over at Sly Vinyl. Now, Sly Vinyl is easily my favorite blog for limited records. If you want to go broke within a week, go to Sly Vinyl every day and look at what they post. You are going to spend so much money, your heart will explode, and you won't have the money to fix it. Arms and Sleepers has an EP called Miami. Now, Arms and Sleepers is a band I've definitely talked about on this channel a lot. They are an electronic act that their sound ranges from ambient to trip hop to down tempo, chill wave. They have so many different sounds to them, and this is just how it sounds. It's very tropical, fun, beachy, a little trip hoppy at times, but this is such a great EP, and it never had a vinyl release. Till Sly Vinyl was like, this needs to be remedied. And that they did. There are two variants, and I regret to inform you that the one variant has sold out already, so you gotta jump on the other one fast. This is the standard, which is still beautiful. It is a beautiful pink vinyl, and the cool part is, on the back, it's screen printed with palm trees. That's cool. You should like it. makes it feel like Miami came straight to you. And while this is spinning on your table, there is no better sight to be seen. So the limited version that unfortunately did sell out is this yellow sunburst on the pink, which it does look really nice, and no wonder it sold out very quickly. Also has the screen print on the back. So moral of the story is, go to Sly Vinyl, make sure you're up to date on the releases because they sell out really fast and they're all super high quality. I own all of them. One of the top labels and blogs around. So it's been a very busy month, and unfortunately I've not had the time to listen to this album on vinyl. I've of course heard it digitally, but this is Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love. You know I love Gambino. This album was not my favorite of his on first listen. I do think that Redbone is one of the best songs in a very long time, and some of those tracks on that album are fire. But overall, it wasn't the direction I wanted him to go. I wanted more hip-hop. He gave us R&B, kind of Prince type stuff. I got this only because I got it on a pricing error, as I mentioned in the last video, so it came to about $30 shipped to the US from Germany. This retails for I think 60 or 70, so that's a really good deal. Comes with a virtual reality headset. This is a glow-in-the-dark cover. It's 2 discs. I have not had a chance to listen to it yet and do the virtual reality stuff, but I'm really excited to do so hopefully that enhances my overall experience with this album. Something I didn't talk about in the other video is a new album by the band Oh Wonder entitled Ultralife. Now, their first album is really, really good indie pop. It almost, to me, is like a more energetic, light-hearted XX, because it's a guy and girl kind of going back and forth and harmonizing. Well, Ultralife, the first 2 singles were amazing, and I had to order the signed copy because of that. So I got a copy of the record. They both signed it on the cover. They have great signatures. It's not just sloppy Kendrick-style scribbles. It's actually cool signatures. So I'm really excited to hear this. If the album sounds as good as those 2 singles, this could be a contender for album of the year. Monster Rally and RUMTUM, the MR&RT EP. Now, Monster Rally is one of those artists, as I've said before, that is a must-buy. No matter what he puts out, I will purchase it because it is exactly the kind of music I love. It's plunderphonic-y, tropical samples making lo-fi hip-hop beats. That's the best way to describe it. And this is an early EP of theirs that finally is pressed to vinyl. And I got the colored version. Actually, I think there's only a colored version. I think it might have sold out, but it is on cream vinyl. And this adds to my extensive Monster Rally collection. This is absolutely a shining star in their collection. This is not just a record I wanted to own because it's Monster Rally. This is a great album. I got my Quaeschning and Schnauss Synthwaves in. Quaeschning, of course, from Tangerine Dream, and Schnauss, Ulrich Schnauss, excellent down-tempo electronic artist. This is so good. Like I told you, I heard 1 or 2 tracks of this digitally and immediately purchased it because I knew it was exactly the kind of ambient synthy stuff that I love. And I got the bonus 10-inch that I think there's only 250 of these, an additional 2 songs to add to the already amazing album. So this is cool and I recommend checking it out. I talked about the first LP they ever did in a previous video, but Turntable Kitchen is a sub-service that they take artists that are already well-known and liked, and they have them cover an album of a legendary artist, and they cover the album in full. The first one I talked about was Yumi Zuma covering Oasis's What's the Story, Morning Glory. Really good pressing, really good album, amazing cover. And the great people at Turntable Kitchen keep them coming. So I have their next 2 right here, and they're both really, really good choices. We have Jonathan Rado from Foxygen covering Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. I mean, that's a really ambitious endeavor, and I haven't had a chance to listen yet, but I hope I do soon. It's on this really cool tricolor kind of split. I think this was the Kickstarter version. I'm not entirely sure, but it matches the black and white cover really nicely. I guess black and white, maybe a little bit of gray in there too. And then Mutual Benefit is covering old school Damn It Sandy Band of the Month, if you go way back 2015, Vashti Bunyan. I guess she's an artist, not a band. Her debut album, Just Another Diamond Day, is being covered by Mutual Benefit, a band that I'm not super familiar with, but that's a great folk album. And I'm really excited to hear another take on it. Maybe if it's a little more experimental, that could be cool too. This is on a pinkish, almost translucent vinyl. So yeah, Turntable Kitchen, check them out. I think it's a great idea what they're doing. No one's doing something quite like this, and so far, everything I've heard. Speaking of sub-services, we have the new Vinyl Moon this month. This is volume 22, Might. Always love me some Vinyl Moon. This is a really cool cover and gatefold. It's just very intricate architecture of a building. Let's see what this record looks like. Whoa. Whoa. This is the coolest record they've done so far visually. Wow. They actually took the pattern from the cover and screen printed it onto the record. This is amazing. This is really beautiful. This is my favorite Vinyl Moon visual record thus far, and I obviously have 22 volumes to pick from. So yeah, this is very, very cool. Let me see if I know any of the artists this month. Usually don't. It's usually a full-out discovery for me. Nope, don't know any of them. Looking forward to hearing them. Finally got a hold of this after years of wanting it. This is the Deer Hunter, the Color Spectrum. This was a 9 EP project that Casey Crescenzo undertook, where every single color is a different EP. And it's black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and white. Your traditional rainbow. His goal was for each EP to evoke what that color makes him feel, which is a really ambitious project, and I think he did it very, very well. My favorite colors, if you want to dive in and listen to it digitally, favorite colors are orange, I like green, indigo, and white. The whole thing is great. There's a reason I bought it. This usually goes for $300 online because it's such a massive box set with all sorts of colored discs inside, but they finally repressed it for the 3rd time, and I believe it might be sold out now, but yeah, this is a really cool addition to my collection. Uyama Hiroto Freeform Jazz. I talked about it in the last video. I talked about it on a couple Instagram live streams. If you watched my live stream on Instagram, I was actually playing this during one of them in the background. Vinyl digital press this. Got a big old seam split on the top, but I think they're sending me a replacement jacket, which is excellent. Nujabes collaborator, beautiful jazzy hip hop beats. One feature, Shingo 2, an incredible rapper. And yeah, this album is terrific. And I was telling people in the live stream, if you could find it for cheap now, and by cheap I mean around 30 bucks, buy it. Because a year from now, when you decide, I want that album, you're gonna be paying a lot more. Because if you go to all of Uyama's earlier stuff, it's expensive. And last but not least, this was a recent Discogs pickup, and it is kind of a grail of mine. This is a band that one of my all-time favorite musicians, which I say a lot on this channel, but this is one of those ones where it's the upper echelon of that statement where I really truly mean it. Jose Gonzalez, Swedish singer-songwriter. I think, and I said this on Twitter recently, he is the most underrated artist of all time. And that's a crazy statement, but I really believe it. I've seen him live, I've listened to all of his albums, and he has such a magical quality to his music, his voice, his songwriting. Everything about it is otherworldly almost. Kind of in the same way that Bjork is kind of doesn't seem like she's from this planet. He's not really like from another planet. He's a very calm, put-together guy. But his first band before he went solo is called Junip, and this was an early EP called the Black Refuge EP. It's long out of print. It's very hard to find it. And not only did I find a copy that plays well, and the sleeve isn't too beat up, there's a bit of a split on the bottom, but not too beat up. The biggest surprise of all was that I opened the little gatefold on the 10-inch. It was signed by the band. So I have a signature from one of my favorite musicians ever on a very hard to find EP of beautiful music, 4 original songs, and then a cover of The Ghost of Tom Joad by Bruce Springsteen. So this was a really recent pickup that I bought for about what it goes for on Discogs. I think I got for like 40 bucks shipped. All right, that is gonna wrap up the B-side for this month. Please, as you know, leave a comment and let me know what records you loved this month. Let me know what you picked up. Let me know which records you like that I picked up. And, you know, we'll see you very soon for the A-side with talking about all the good stuff in August. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you love this video, go to my Patreon and be a supporter. And of course, please subscribe. So we'll see you soon.